speaking of criticism, Patrick Mahomes is great, likable, coachable, all the things you want your quarterback to be. But sorry, fawning media, sorry. In between the pom-pom wavings, we now have a pattern, a second pattern, that has developed with Patrick Mahomes. Now, the first pattern is, whoo-hoo, he's really good. He is spectacular. Oh, that, nobody else can do that. He is absolutely amazing. And we have written stories and done rants about that. But the protective media, oh, they don't like criticism. Here is the second pattern that's developed. When he gets bad fast, and he loses confidence really quickly. And we've seen two stretches in the regular season in his career where he's just kind of mechanically kind of gotten off his game. I've always compared him to an artist. Sometimes, man, he gets writer's block, but he also creates masterpieces. Yesterday was a great example. It happened in a game. He was ridiculously good in the first half. He was off in the second half, and dude was broken in overtime. He'll turn it around because I've seen him do it twice, and this will be the third time. But unfortunately, there was no other game. You had to be good in overtime, and you weren't. But the NFL scouting report on Mahomes was incredibly clear. Let me read it to you. Decision-making goes from bad to worse in a moment's notice. Impatient, big, confident, develop some bad habits, work in progress, high ceiling, sometimes too eager for big game hunting. Unique talent, star in the making. It's exactly what he is. But we've had this emergence of greatness that was so overwhelming initially that we didn't let him grow. Never forget Peyton Manning, year 4. Bad. Eli Manning, in between Super Bowls, a lot of ugly. It happens, and this is the reality. And if you look at the Super Bowl last year, speaking of from good to bad to ugly, in the second half last year, Mahomes Super Bowl. 0 TDs, 2 picks, sacked 3 times, 49 passer rating, 56%. He went from not very good to awful fast. Yesterday, second half overtime, 44% completion percentage, 0 TDs, 2 picks, passer rating at 12, and sacked 4 times. And again, he's the artist, and it's okay, and he'll be fine, and it'll get better. But we now have two things, and we'd seen these with Josh Allen, and we embraced them more quickly because he wasn't great initially. What did I say about Josh Allen? You get a lot of jagged edges, and Mahomes is a more refined Josh Allen. But now we're seeing the jagged edges with Mahomes. And maybe this is just the reality, part and parcel of what you get with a great artist at quarterback. I always said that about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's the greatest artist to ever play basketball. He came down 90% of the time. The canvas was open. Kobe was going to create a shot. There were games Kobe decided when he was injured, I'm going to shoot left-handed. And with that, there were years Kobe shot too much, and there were years he drove Shaq crazy, and you just have to, enjoy the greatness. It's not perfect. Even great artists have bad albums. But there were excuses last year when the Mahomes struggled. They lost their offensive line. This was on Patrick. He lost his fastball. Live, overtime, second half. He talked about it after.
They had a good game plan. They were doing a lot of similar stuff in the first half. We were just executing at a higher level, and they stayed with it. They fought. I mean, that's a good football team, but it takes a lot of fight to stay in a game whenever you're down like that. But I mean, I got to be better. I mean, when you're up 21-3 at one point in a game, you can't lose it. And I put that on myself.
Happens. It's okay. Gonna have a great career. Already had one. Some people say you could vote him into the Hall of Fame, but it is part of it now. Media, less fawning, more reality. And the reality is sometimes he goes into slumps. And he was a little off in the second half. He was broken in overtime, and Burrow wasn't. There's so many topics today, so many things.